The strong Amantia and the technologically superior Patria were two enormous empires who fought unrelentingly for supremacy in a world where magic and technology stood in stark contrast. Iska and Alice, two extraordinary people who represented the philosophies of their separate empires, found themselves on opposing sides of the fight in the midst of all this upheaval and confusion. They set off on a quest that would forever alter both their lives and the course of their world, but fate had other ideas for them. The story begins with Iska, a talented swordsman from the center of Amantia, a country renowned for its mastery of magic and combat skills. Despite coming from poor beginnings, Iska had advanced through the ranks thanks to his superior fighting skills and a mystical sword called an anti-magic sword. Alice, a brilliant mage born in the heart of Patria, a kingdom that had harnessed the power of technology to build an empire unlike any other, stood on the other side of the battlefield. Her incredible magical abilities were only surpassed by her everlasting devotion to Patria. It would be an understatement to say that their first combat was legendary. Iska and Alice's conflict was more than just a simple exchange of words, it was a titanic demonstration of strength and determination. A relic from the past, Iska's anti-magic sword clashed with Alice's powerful magic spells, sending sparks flying over the battlefield like a flaming meteor shower. Soldiers on both sides marveled as these two natural forces clashed. It was a struggle for life and for dominance, but it was also the start of something unexpected. Iska and Alice's eyes converged as the combat continued amidst the wreckage and mayhem. They recognized something in each other at that precise instant amid the clash of blades and the fury of magic, a common longing for a world free from violence. They understood the pointlessness of their conflict, the senselessness of a war that had raged for generations, and the agony it had inflicted on helpless people. A glimmer of understanding sprang between them despite the hostility that was meant to characterize their relationship. Their conflict did not come to a bloody standoff. It ended instead with a flash of insight. Iska and Alice, two people who were supposed to be mortal rivals, had a same vision of the ideal world, one in which their respective empires could coexist peacefully. They sought to escape the cycle of violence and animosity that had pervaded their civilization for ages. This unanticipated link signaled the beginning of a remarkable alliance. Against all obstacles, Iska and Alice made the decision to collaborate beyond the limits of their own empires in order to accomplish a common objective of putting an end to the conflict. They faced the animosity of their various empires as well as the complex political web built by those who benefited from the never-ending struggle, making their voyage dangerous and difficult. Iska and Alice met a wide variety of people along the way who played important roles in their quest for peace. Young mage Sisbel, who had long admired Alice's fortitude and tenacity, joined her as a faithful companion and contributed her magical know-how to the cause. Jin, a shadowy sniper with an enigmatic past, contributed his unmatched marksmanship to the team, balancing out their skills. And Nene, a mercenary who was funny and cunning and had a gift for bargaining, utilized her special abilities to negotiate across the perilous seas of diplomacy. Iska and Alice learned throughout their journeys that their empires were not solid, unchanging structures but rather intricate tapestries made of the hopes and aspirations of many people. Within Amantia and Patria, there were elements sympathetic to their cause and eager to put an end to the carnage. They started gradually dismantling the walls of prejudice and mistrust that had long separated their two worlds. Throughout their voyage, they experienced intense action, sincere emotion, and significant progress. As they battled tremendous adversaries including potent magicians, enormous mechanical structures, and even ancient entities of unfathomable power, Iska and Alice's friendship became stronger. Their determination to bring about peace only got stronger as they overcome each obstacle. Iska and Alice's diligent efforts started to pay off as the story went on. As their empires' diplomatic discussions progressed, a ceasefire was declared. The possibility of peace became closer, and the entire world watched with bated breath. But despite their efforts, peace remained elusive as evil powers operating in the shadows planned to thwart their success and send the world back into a state of civil conflict. Iska, Alice, and their steadfast allies took on their toughest test yet in the dramatic final battle. They came face to face with a mysterious group that had been directing the battle from behind the scenes and manipulating events for their own benefit. It was a conflict over the destiny of their entire planet, not just their empires. Iska and Alice overcame the powers of evil with unyielding resolve and the help of their friends. They made sure that those who had attempted to prolong the conflict were held responsible for their crimes by exposing the facts to the public. The residents of Amancia and Patria united behind their cause and demanded a stop to the bloodshed that had torn their lives apart because they were tired of the never-ending strife. In the end, Our Last Crusade was a tale of how optimism overcame gloom, love broke down the barriers of war, and people had the capacity to alter the course of history. In addition to bringing Iska and Alice's empires closer together, their battle for peace helped usher in a new era of cooperation and understanding in a globe that had previously been ripped apart by conflict. Thanks to the unlikely heroes Iska and Alice and their unforgettable journey to end Our Last Crusade, the world had a chance to heal and rebuild. The scars of war would not fade overnight, but the shared dream of a better future would guide them toward a world where magic and technology, Amancia and Patria, could coexist peacefully. As a result, future generations would rejoice in the tale of Iska and Alice, the two who dared to resist the fate of their rival empires. Children would hear about their experiences as a tribute to the tenacity of friendship, optimism, and the human spirit. It was a story about how two people who came from completely different perspectives came together to establish a road to peace and radically change the trajectory of human history.